What's up, YouTube? This is your host with the most, King Geo in the house. Ah, that's too bright. Yeah, right there. How you guys doing today? It's King Geo. What's up? First and foremost, I want to take this time to tell my beautiful daughter Priscilla, happy birthday. She turns 27 today. Wow, let me see, yeah, 27. So congratulations to you, Priscilla, on your birthday. God loves you. I mean, God loves you. I wish you the best. I hope that you're enjoying your day over there with your family. God bless you. I love you, and you mean the world to me. And I hope you enjoy your day. And may God give you 28, 29, 20, 30, 31, 32, 34, 40, 50, 60, 70 more years left. All right. Anyway, so on that note, happy birthday. And we're going to talk about today's topic is going to be, I want to talk about something that's going to affect each and every one of us in the future, whether you like it or not. It's going to happen, and that's called immigration. Um, right now, we're going through. I mean, if you look at CNN, they say one thing. If you look at Fox, they say another thing. Don't look at Fox. Don't look at Newsmax. So if you look at legitimate resources, and you see the way immigration has been has been through the past years, not just in the Biden administration. I can't say much about the Biden administration because he's only been in office for 62 days. There's not much you can do in 62 days. But prior to him, Trump, Clinton, Barack Obama, George Bush, brothers, father, not brother because one didn't run, one ran, but you know how that happened. But Donald Trump beat him. And you look at how the immigration, we complain so much about immigration, but yet we have so much, we had through all these years, we had both Democrat Party, we had Bill Clinton had the House, I had both the House and it had the House and the Senate, and didn't do anything. George Bush at one time had the House and the Senate, didn't do anything. Barack Obama had the House and the Senate, didn't do anything significantly. Donald Trump never had the House and the Senate, so but he could have done something. And now Biden has a little bit of an edge in the House, and he's tied. I mean, the House of Representatives, he's a little bit over the edge, not too much, and he has a little bit of the House of Rep. I mean, he's a tie when it comes to the House of Representatives. Now, what gets to me is that we see right now in Texas there are 2,700 kids being housed in a facility that only holds 255 people. It's supposed to hold only 255 people, right? Now a lot of people are saying, "Oh, this is Biden's fault." No, it's not Biden's fault. You know what's going on here is that if you look at not yesterday, the day before yesterday, I saw a news clip on ABC, and ABC had gone over the border in Tijuana, and you have immigrants, people from Mexico, what made that, even people from Haiti, that's been there in the border for a year and a half because they can't cross over, and they've been sleeping outside. They all did a tent and stuff like that. And I remember last year when Donald Trump made an agreement with Mexico, stuff like that, and other countries, to keep those people there, and that our government will fund them, give them money so that people can stay there. That's an okay idea, but that doesn't resolve the problem of immigration. What resolves the problem of immigration is that these countries got to have decent jobs for these people, have jobs for these people, and treat these people like human beings so they can stay in the country. There's a lot going on with immigration. There are. Hi, Melissa. How you doing? Now, not now. The housing that I told you in Texas, those are adolescents and kids. There's 2,700 of them. So a lot of what's going on here is that you're going to see a flux of kids coming in. Some people when with the Trump administration, some kids were separated from their parents, so those kids have to be reunited with their parents. That's a give and take. So even if the parents in Mexico and the kids are here in the United States, I think, and they were separated in the Trump administration, they should go somehow those people, the parents, should be able to come back to the United States, get their kids. Um, Whether they stay here or not, that's up to the government. But to at least find a way to reunite those kids with their parents. Now, what's happening now? Biden opened up a Pandora box when he allowed saying that kids can come over, whatever the case, he can allow kids to come over if they reach the border without their parents. So what's that? What is that going to do now? What that's going to do now is going to have these kids come over. Their parents are going to send them over, regardless of what happens to them. Send them to the United States. Let them come over here, and if it does happen, then the kids come to the United States. They get placed in a shelter, and then they get put in someone's home. Do we have that many people to come to foster these kids? Do we have enough Spanish people to foster these kids? Because you can't take a kid from Mexico or from another country and put them in an all English house at that age. They're not coming as babies. They're going to be coming 2, 3, 4, 5 years old. They know no English at all. And how is that kid within time is going to do that? But at the beginning, how is that kid going to acclimate to strangers' houses? Do we have the resources? And then parents are just going to be irresponsible, and they're going to send the kids over to the United States and say, you know what, go to the United States, do whatever it is, and then call me. Call me later on. Let me know when you get old, you call me. So you're making responsible parents irresponsible parents. Because I don't care what it is, I will never send my kid to cross the border into someone else's home. My kids are my kids, and they stay with me. If I have to bust my ass, then I bust my ass, and I do but I cannot be day in and day out. And I've been through it already with one of my kids, day in and day out, thinking where my kids at? Did my kid eat? Is he or she sleeping? Did they sleep well? How they doing in school? I can't go through that. I can't do it. So and some people just are fine. They go, you know what? They're going to America. They're having a better life. Who knows? A better life is not guaranteed. But to have all these kids come to the United States of America, the way they're trying to do it now, it's irresponsible to the government. I don't know why are they having 2,500 kids in one place? We are going through a crisis of COVID. It's time for the United States to strap on their boots and do something about immigration. Because since I've been a kid, immigration has been the one thing that a lot of these Republicans and Democrats alike, they tend to grab onto when it comes to election time. And what they do is that they put a Band-Aid to a solution. And the Band-Aid is good. Like Barack Obama did with the Dreamers Act. They just put a Band-Aid to the Dreamers Act. You just put a Band-Aid to people who say, you can stay in this country for X amount of time. And it's getting frustrating. For me, it is, to watching all these people come across the border illegally, because I believe in immigration, but I believe in you coming to this country illegally. I'm getting tired of people coming from another country and they have not one, but 2, 3, 4 babies, one after the other. And then what happens is that baby becomes an American citizen automatically. And I'm against that. I really am. I'm against giving citizenship to someone who's here illegally. If you're here illegally, you come through the papers and you get fined. But if you're here illegally, and a lot of people do that, there are some countries in the world where you give birth and your child is not a legal citizen of that country because they know what's going to happen. You have one kid, and I've seen it with my own eyes, where a girl, 19, 20, 21 years old, has 3 kids in a belly. 3 kids in a belly. And all those kids are born and raised, they're born here, and they become citizens here, and they take benefits from the government. And because they're entitled because the child is an American citizen, and that is the truth. So we need a law. Okay. Let me speak. I'd say, for those 18 million people that are here illegally, 18 million people, if they've been here already, they're here already, and they're working, why don't you give those people Social Security cards? Have them pay into Social Security. Have their kids serve in the military for 2 years, 4 years, have them serve, have them give back. And all those people who are coming in or who are just coming in or been here 2 or 3 years, then they got to go back. It's just as simple as that. You know, we have over 1 million homeless people in this world, in this country. Over 1 million. We can't even do tiny homes. The government refuses to do tiny homes. Tiny homes are maybe a house with 600 square feet or 900 square feet. They refuse to do that. The thing about the government, how the government refuses to do tiny homes for our citizens, but yet they're willing to bend over backwards to give these people, to give immigrants, illegal immigrants, support, to give them housing, to give them food stamp. When you have people in our country, we have veterans that come from the war, and they cannot even survive with what they give them. They don't even, some of them don't even have places to go because they come distorted, they got PTSD, or whatever the case may be, and they cannot function in society. But yet, our country disregards them, but goes and does something and help out the immigrants. Like I said, I'm all for immigration. I'm all for here that you come into this country for a better self, for you to better yourself, for you to have a better life. I'm all for that. But you have to do it legally. And then what? Like I said before, what gets me mad is that we can't even house the homeless. You know, a few months ago in Nevada, they had the government there decided to raise the money on solar panels because people were going off the grid and people were doing solar panels. So they decided, forget the solar panels. Now we're going to raise taxes on that, so you can go back on the grid, because they figured, they were saying people are going more solar, so they're not using our services anymore. So basically, the industry, the solar industry in Nevada is non-existent. What's up, Stanley? So it's non-existent. So look how the government is. So the government cannot give a tiny home, cannot take acres of land that they have, that they own, and do tiny homes for these people, for the homeless people, and make them stay there and rehab them there, and put social workers there so they can get not acclimated, so they can learn to pay rent, so they so they can learn to save money, so they can learn to be stable. So then when they do decide to leave that tiny home, they have either their own apartment or they have their own house, preferably their own house, and they can become again that productive member of society that they once were. But if we keep spending money on idiotic, stupid things, we're never going to come out of this rut. And now you see the border. The border is packed. No one's coming in. Yesterday, President Biden spoke to Mexico and told Mexico basically like the same deal that Donald Trump did with Mexico and Salvador, that to keep them in the country, and that will give them money for that's the problem of that country. That's Mexico's problem. If Mexico cannot deal with its people, if Mexico has a bad government, that's on Mexico. That's the people of Mexico should rise up, because Mexico has bad, just like Puerto Rico has bad government. Puerto Rico has bad government. The difference is that if you're born, Puerto Ricans are citizens by law. We're citizens if you're born in Puerto Rico or not. Well, if you're born in Puerto Rico, you are a citizen regardless. But that's up to the government of Mexico to take care of that. You can't incentivize Mexico and tell Mexico, I'm going to give you money for you to keep your people there. No. That's ridiculous. When Trump did it, I said it was ridiculous. And now that Biden is doing, it's even more dumb. They should take care of their own people. And if because it's easy to say, I'm going to the United States, and once you reach the United States and you apply for asylum, you can say, I've been abused, my husband want to kill me, I've been the gang members in the cartel wants to kill me, the government's against me. You could do anything for asylum. We don't know if those things are really true, but you come here, you tell that story, we're gonna feel bad and we're gonna keep you in. That's not the way it's supposed to work. But that's, back in the days, 80s, 90s, and up to early 2002, until Barack Obama left, Cubans were allowed to come to the United States. They were the only nation, the only country, or the only nationality that could have come to the United States illegally. And once they reach American soil, they will give them political asylum, or they will give them asylum, period. Okay? They were the only ones. And Barack Obama took that off right after he left the president. So just think about it. You're Cuban, you reach the United States, you reach Florida, you're all right. They can't deport you. So you're okay. Other countries, Mexico, Honduras, all those other countries, you come here, they deport you back. Does that make any sense? No, it doesn't. And a lot of people, what they don't know also is that not all, but some of these people that are coming over the border have criminal records, and they leave Mexico to come to the United States, but they don't come to the United States to better themselves. They come to the United States with that same mentality because they're fleeing, because they know they're either the government's after them or someone's about to kill them. Same thing in Puerto Rico. When you go to Orlando, you go to Kissimmee. Those areas are full of Puerto Ricans. What happens there? If you see the arrest there, they're basically because of Puerto Ricans and Puerto Ricans. What's happening is that those criminals who are in Puerto Rico, who have been doing crime, have been committing crime in Puerto Rico, when the law cannot catch up to them, what they do, they get on the plane and they hop over to Florida. They go to Orlando, they go to Kissimmee. And then, even though they're wanted, they still keep doing the same stupid shit. They sell drugs, they're doing this, they're doing that. Instead of changing that mentality of theirs, even though they're wanted, it's not like the same thing in Mexico, where you're wanted in Mexico, you get arrested here in the United States. If they don't put you through Interpol, they don't know you have a warrant. If you have a warrant in Puerto Rico and you come to the United States and you get arrested, dude, once your fingerprints go through, they will find out that you have a warrant out in Puerto Rico. Not the same thing as Mexico. It's totally different. So, but knowing that you come to the States and you come with that mentality, okay, I'm coming from Mexico, or come from Honduras, or come from El Salvador, wherever it is that you're coming from, Brazil, whatever, and they're looking for you, you're going to cross the border. And once you cross the border, your mentality is still with that, you know what, I'm still going to do my thing because that's all I can do. Instead of saying, you know what, I'm here, I'm going to do things right. Most of them don't think that way. Well, put it this way, Stanley. There is only, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to give you a statistic now because I want to say something. I'm looking at something because I want to make sure that I give you the right information. All right. So here it is. Okay. In the United States, as the consensus for 2019, there are 41.9 million Black Americans in this country. All right. All right. 41 million. 41 million, right? Now we're going to go to the breakdown. In 2020, non-Hispanic white people, hereafter called whites, are still the majority race in the U.S., representing 59.7% of the population. So there's two. Did you say the last census that there was before this one, because this one hasn't been out yet? There were if I'm not mistaken, there were 330 million people in this country. 330 million. So 59.9 of them are whites, and then we got 41 million. You can't compare. And then you have 18 million illegal aliens, illegal immigrants here in the United States. So, come on. Stanley says they're going to take the place of the black voters because the Democratic Party will start losing black voters in the future. Yes. That's, the Hispanic, they subtract incarceration. Yeah, that's true. But still, if you think about it, And as far as the census is concerned, I'm including the incarcerated because yeah, they're incarcerated and they're part of our society. So think about that. You have 18 million illegals. You have 11, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm correct, you have 11 million who are here illegally and who are and trying to do the CARE Act, not the CARE Act, the Dreamers. So you have them, 18 million plus the 11 million. That's 18, 19, and 11. That's 29 million Hispanics who are here in the United States. Well, most of them can't vote, but you have 11 million people that can vote. So what does that tell you? It's the same thing as Stanley says. They're going to the Democratic Party or either party will lose black votes and they will gain Hispanic votes. Now, Hispanic votes is different from black votes because Hispanics, depending on what country you come from, it could go either way. Most people who come from Cuba, they decide, I don't know why, they decide to become Republican. And most people who come from other countries usually tend to be Democrats. If you come from Mexico, if you come from Honduras, if you come from El Salvador, if you come from Panama, if you come from all those countries, most of them tends to be Democrats for the simple reasons because the Democratic Party was the one that let them in. So they're usually going to go with the party who has let them in, and that's by nature, I guess. So that's what's going to happen. So you lose, and the thing that gets me, the thing that gets me mad the most is that when people started talking about when Donald Trump said that he did a lot for the black community, which he did not do anything for the black community. He talks about how black unemployment went down, but black unemployment went down because the black man decided and the black woman decided to go to work, to go get a job, because he didn't implement no specific plan or no specific program to say, you know what, I'm going to give the black community this program so they can go to work. No, he didn't do any of that. So black people decided to go to work, plain and simple. Plain and simple. And then he said that he reformed the prison. No, he didn't reform the prison. The reform that Donald Trump did, that was for federal inmates. And as you well know, federal inmates is basically all whites. The majority is white. So what was I? I lost my thought. So we got to so he says that he did a lot for the black community, which he did. So he says that he did a lot for the black community, which he did, and then people foolishly believe what he says. They will take advantage of the education system and the will rise as a race. They are very hard workers and they're very skillful in the automotive industry. You're talking about who are you talking about, Stanley? Well, they will take advantage of the but that's not I don't to be honest with you, I don't see well where I come from, I don't see how they take advantage of the education system. I don't know where they're good at the automotive industry. I mean, I think everyone is skilled if you decide to do so. But what I am getting based at what I'm trying to say is that they're coming to this country, and by them coming here illegally will affect you and I in some sort of way. What's up, Manny Faz? In some sort of way, it will affect us. And when they do come to this country, I'm not talking about Mexican, I'm talking about everyone. When they come to this country, they have a tendency to produce. And when they produce, they don't produce one child, two child, three child. I don't know where you're at, Stanley. I think you're in Philadelphia. If you go to New York, you see a 18 or 19-year-old, like I said earlier, with a belly and two kids. Because they know that once the child is born here, the child becomes an American citizen. So what do? They very easily they can apply for food stamps, especially in New York, which New York is in New York, New York is a in New York is it's a state where they let things go by very easily. So you're talking about that they good in California, but see, but what? Okay, so but even though they're good at automotive, like you said, but what good does that do when they cannot put those skills into an industry? Because all they're going to end up doing is working. They're going to work for themselves, which is good because you work for yourself, you make money, you have you own your own business. But when you open up your own little shop in your backyard or your little garage, and you're taking 2 or 3 cars out a day or 2 or 3 cars a week, most and you're charging cheap to do good work, you're not paying taxes. And that right there takes away from the state. It takes away from you. You know. But we have to do something. We have to formulate. You know why this you know why neither the Republican nor the Democrats do something about immigration that puts a stop to this and let do things right? And because every 4 years they got something to talk about. So if they fix the economy, then we'll have nothing to talk about in 4 years. If they fix immigration, there's nothing to talk about in 4 years. If they fix this, they fix that, then you have nothing to talk about. They put the children into technology. No, Stanley. No, they don't. You can say that for the Indians. Indians come to this country, and their kids go either they go not engineering. They either go to medical school, or they do some form of industrial. I mean, engineering or something like that. Chinese, they do the same thing. But as far as Mexicans, Hondurans, Puerto Ricans, well, not Puerto Ricans, Hondurans, and all those from South America, Central America to Mexico, when the kids come here, they don't go with technology. They don't do none of that stuff. Some do, but the majority of them don't. Because it's our system. Our culture is American is very different from theirs. They're hardworking. They're hardworking people because they work hard, because where they come from, you have to work hard in order for you to survive. So when they come here, they know how to work. That's why a lot of people take them to do construction jobs. They might not know how construction, but they'll teach them because they prefer paying 10 people $10 an hour instead of paying 5 people or 30 people $20 or $30 an hour. So they prefer paying illegal immigrants $10 an hour. Let them bust their ass. They get this called cheap labor. Than paying some guy who's going to do the same thing for $20, $30 an hour. It's going to cost them more. It's going to cost them more money, and blah 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 blah. All right. So you the plan, but that's not the plan. They don't Mexicans, Dominicans, Hondurans, Panamanians. They don't come to this country for technology. They don't do that. They come to this country to work, and when they come to this country, I know several Mexicans who came in illegally, and they own 2, 3, 4 houses because they come here, they bust their ass, they take out a loan. How they take out a loan without papers, I don't know, but they take out a loan and they own 2 or 3 houses. They're proposing houses, because they work in construction, they work doing this, they work doing that, but they work in driving trucks. But it's very rare that you're going to see an immigrant coming from Mexico and jump into MIT or go to Harvard. I'm not saying they're not smart, but that's not their mentality. The mentality is to come here, bust their ass, send money home. Yes, the world is changing in technology, but not everyone is into technology. Soon, like I said yesterday, soon the world will become, there will be no more money. There will be, everything will be crypto. Everything will be crypto. Yeah, that's the new wave. That's the new wave, Stanley. But you understand, you're black. All right. I think you're black, Patterson. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I'm Puerto Rican. I've been around. I've been around different cultures, and I can tell you that's not the way they think. That's not the way immigrants think. They don't think about, I'm going to go to the United States and I'm going to become a doctor. I'm going to become to the United, especially if you come from a poor family. And then, like I said, we're going to send you to the United States so you can become a doctor, you can become a lawyer, or you can become a computer programmer. That's not the way it works. They don't have what we have here, the technology that we have here. They don't have it in all those other countries, so they don't know. You cannot go to Honduras, in the middle of Honduras, and say, you know what, I'm going to give you guys, I'm going to give you guys free computers, and no, not free computers. I'm going to give you guys a scholarship to go to school so you can learn computers. You're going to go, what? We don't know how to do anything about computers. And most people in those countries, when they don't know something, they don't want to learn. But we like, wow. So they don't think that way. Yeah, we can't think in the old ways. We're not thinking, but Stanley, I'm not talking about we're thinking about the old ways. I'm telling you how it is. I've been around people. I've been around Mexicans. I've been around Honduras. I've been around most of these people I've been around with. And I know their mentality. They don't come to this country to go into the MITs. They don't go to this country to go into pharmaceuticals. They don't come to this country to find a cure on this, because they were not born here. If you're born here, it's a different story, because you know what's out there. You know what's offered to you. You know that if you go to college, you can do this. But when you come to this country, all they know is just work, 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 work. That's all they do. It's work, work. So you can't say, you know what, I want you to change your thoughts. Because they come to this country, they work here, and they come here and they bust their ass for $10 an hour, $12 an hour, $15 an hour, and they take that money that they're getting, because they're not paying taxes on that. And most of them take their money, send most of it to their country. They pay the rent, and the rest they use. And what little money they have, they keep, and they do whatever they want to. It is their right. You bust your money, you bust your ass for your money. You do what you want to do with it, right? But you say the world is changing. Yes, the world is changing. Their children will eventually. Yes, in their country they will. But as long as those countries have their people oppressed and keep them having shitty jobs, that's what's going to happen. Mexico's not going to go into one of these rural places or in the country and say, you know what, I'm going to give you guys free education. You guys are going to learn this for free. They're not going to do that. They used to think that way. No, they still think that way, Stanley, because they come to this country. Oh, man. Yeah. Oh, Stanley, you need to open your eyes, bro. Everything that you're saying is great, but that's not the way it is. Trust me. They're not going to go. They're not going to leave. They're not going to leave their country to come here to go to school. Because the reason that they're coming to this country is because they cannot make it in their country. So when they come to this country, all they're going to do is work. And yes, if you have your son that's young, and that son of yours is going to our public schools, stuff like that, hopefully that son of yours can see that, we got free school, we go to college, we can do that. But if you come at an age 18, 19 years old, that's not going to happen. And when the way the way the system is, you have, let's say, Biden reforms immigration, and he puts it in a way that illegals can stay here, and whatever he puts on or what it can be, and then comes the Republican president, and just everything that Biden did throws it all away, right? Like Trump tried to do with DACA, what Trump tried to do with Dreamers. He put them in a bind. What am I going to do? Where am I going to go? What am I going to do? What am I going to go? You know? So that has to stop. So even if we get 20 million people coming from other countries to come to here, and they do it illegally, and then they get the path, what Biden's saying, the path of citizenship, then they get that, then comes the Republican president, and whatever that president put in place is going to get destroyed, because Republicans are not into immigration. Yes, Daniel, you made your money in Bitcoin, and I congratulate you on that. But everybody's not like that. Some people don't think, I think the way you think, but some people don't think that way. Some people want their money in their pockets. Some people, if we don't teach our kids what cryptocurrency is or how the world is changing, they're not going to know, because if you look at the world, most of these kids nowadays, all they do is sit on their asses playing games, play video games, doing this, doing that. They're not into, some are, but the majority are into video games. What's on the radio? Who's doing this video? No, Stanley. It's not that I don't see it in the news. It's what I see with my eyes. With my eyes, bro. You go to a restaurant. Everybody in the restaurant is not even talking to each other. Everybody's on the phone. You go to a park. You used to do picnic. I remember when I went to the park with my family, we used to play baseball. We used to play softball. My parents drank their beers. They did this, they did that. And boom. But you don't do that no more. You go to a park now, what? They don't play. They're on the phone or on the tablet. Society has lost itself in technology. Well, you have to teach. But see, you can't teach something to someone that doesn't know. When you went to school, did your teacher ever teach? I guarantee you, if you had your mentality now, 10 years ago or 20 years ago, when you were in school, you'd be a rich man by now. But growing up in school, we didn't get taught about housing. We didn't get taught about credits. They didn't teach us about, have your credit score when you turn 18 years old. Do this and that. They didn't teach you none of that. They didn't teach you about gold and silver and real estate, like you just put. No. It's never too late. That's true. I believe in that. But some people are fixing their ideas, they're fixing their ways, and they don't want to change. My father's 77 years old. And he doesn't want to get the COVID vaccine. Anything to make money, he doesn't want to do, because he doesn't want to learn something. He's set in his own ways. There's nothing wrong with that. And we learn something every day. That is true. I learn something. At least I try to learn something every day. I like to keep my mind up to date. And I don't believe everything that's in the news. If I don't see it with my own eyes, I don't see it, I may say, oh, wow, that really did happen. Men are still living in the cave. I know that. But the way you see the future is not the way some people see it. And that's unfortunate. So in some aspect of this, what it is, but we have to do something about immigration. Immigration has to be more where if you come to this country, like I said before, you come to this country, and those who are here illegally and they've been here for 10, 20 years, give them a Social Security card, have their kids join the Army, the Navy, whatever they want, and have them serve our country for 2 to 4 years. Give our country a service. If you want us to, college for all. If you're going to pay for a college, if the state's going to pay for a college, and they say you want to become a doctor, you want to become a lawyer, you want to become an engineer, and you say, you know what, that's the state. I'll pay you that, but you have to work for the state for a year or two, not repay money wise, but hourly wise. I want to get your first few years out of you, your ideas, and then you can move on your own. That sounds like a good solution. I think that's fair. We weren't taught. Stanley, what school did you go to in elementary, in junior high, in high school? Did they ever teach us about real estate? Did they ever teach us about the worth to invest? Did they ever teach us about gold has a value, silver has value? Okay, no, they didn't. But everybody doesn't want to hear about Wall Street. Well, Wall Street doesn't control the country. I think nowadays pharmaceuticals control the country. They control what happens because people are living longer. People are getting more sick. So instead of finding the cure, they find a Band-Aid. You know? But I don't think Wall Street has the control. You just gotta do. If you want to make money in this country, you just gotta go out there and go for it. It's plain and simple. You want that jet, you're gonna go for it, right, Stanley? And that's the way it is. But something needs to be done about immigration. I don't like the idea that there's 2,500 adolescents in a place where can only 227 people are supposed to be held. So can you imagine how those kids are cramped up in one room? Yeah. The planet will never be overpopulated. God has designed it that if you look at it, the same amount of people that die, the same amount they're close to the same amount of people that are born. Just look at the statistic. Look how many people died last year to compare to the people to compare to how many people were born. Basically, they're basically right there. Not the numbers aren't too far off. I know you're gonna get it, Stanley. I have faith in you. I believe in your tenacity. But there's always been cheap labor. People complain, cheap labor, they're taking away from the American people. They're not taking away from the American people. It's that they're willing to work, they're willing to do jobs that most people won't do. Be honest with you, when have you seen a white man pick apples in a farm? When have you seen a white man pick pick a fruit from the field? You don't. You see you see white farmers working their farms, but if you see white farmers now, who are doing the picking? Illegals. I got that idea. Illegals. Because they're willing to work. And let me tell you, working in the field is not easy. You don't get paid by the hour. You get paid when you're working in an apple field or a bean field or a coffee field. You get paid by what you pick up. So you have to have a certain amount for you to make a certain amount of money. And that's kind of hard. But you don't see the white man doing that. You don't see the white man doing your room for $10 an hour. No, I gotta get paid. Give me 60, give me $40 an hour. Now do y'all, they overcharge you. So what does a contractor do? He gets himself 10, 14, 2 or 3 Mexicans, put them in a truck, take them to do the job, pay him $80 to $120 a day, and they got the job done. So what a white person charges you for a day, which is, they say they charge you $40 per hour, you can get a Mexican, 3 Mexicans to do it. And you get the job done twice as fast. And if you have a good contractor with you, even with cheap labor, you would get your job done good, even with cheap labor. And that's where we're at now. We're at the point that we have to do good for immigration. We have to do good. If you're going to keep the illegals here, have them pay taxes, have to give back to the community. Those who are here illegally and have criminal records, I think they got to go back. And that's just me, man. But I'm all for helping us first, helping our people first before we can go help out anybody else. That's the way I am. Whether Republican or Democrat, that's the way I am. I cannot believe that we live in a country that we have over 1 million homeless people, and yet states refuse to have these people, to build tiny homes for these people, to build them tiny places where they can have their head, where they can have, where you can hold up, where they can hold up their heads and say, you know what, today's a good day. I woke up, I had my own little place, and now I'm going to go look for a job because I got clothes, I got food to eat, I got a place where I can shower. I don't have to worry about people taking my stuff. I don't have to worry about none of this. So that person is confident. But when you don't do that, but when you are out there and these senators and these Republicans, all of them, Democrats and Republicans, they're out there making their own little money and they're getting paid every 2 weeks, and they have these lobbyists say, yo, pass this bill. We got this for you. We got this for that. They won't care about the small people. They won't care about the homeless. They won't care about the vets. So, but they do care about immigration because every 4 years, that's a topic to touch, and that's a vote. They care for that, but they don't care about the homelessness. And that is sad. Well, people, thank you for watching the King Geo Show. Hopefully, we'll see each other this week. I won't be doing a live that much this week with my job. I'm on a second shift, but I will put a video. I will post videos up every day. My next live probably will be on Sunday, but if not Saturday or Friday, one of those days, guys. Well, anyway, thank you for joining the King Geo Show. Hey, Stanley, you haven't joined my membership, bro. What's up with that? My membership is $199 a month, $299 and $499. Join the King Geo Show. And choose a perk. Join. I will be doing a giveaway, so my giveaway will be mentioned tomorrow. And I'm also doing a giveaway for Mother's Day. So we're going to do that. All right? We're going to do all that. So, with that said, thank each and every one of you guys for your time. God bless you. If you haven't subscribed to the King Geo Show, to the King Geo channel. Yo, Stanley, do your thing, bro. Join King Geo. All right, people, peace. God bless.